primarily been a console gamer, and you could say for a time arcade gamer, pretty much all my life until the arcade scene fell off, right?
Until the Sega Dreamcast came out and had arcade perfect games. I mean, it was so arcade perfect that even the ports on PlayStation 2 paled in comparison to the Sega Dreamcast. And it has a lot to do with the fact that people got tired of wasting quarters, on top of the fact that people finally felt that they had a arcade gaming experience at home. That is the reason as to why arcades failed in the US.
I played on handhelds, but I honestly barely cared for it. It was so and so. Maybe when I was younger, I was into it, but as I got older, I moved away from it, right? Didn't really care much for it, right? But consoles has always been my thing. Played a few PC games, but consoles has been the thing.
And guess what? And even if Xbox games go to PC, well, guess where most console gamers want to play them on? Xbox. It's the same thing that I say about PC fanboys in regards to PlayStation games going to PC. This is why I tried to tell you it doesn't matter. Why do you people care so much that other people have the opportunity of playing your games? Because this is the excuse that we hear all the time. Well, I'm predominantly a console gamer. Well, in that case, why aren't you buying an Xbox to play their games, and instead you want to use the argument, well, they coming to PC. Now they're saying it's coming to Sony. That's the argument that you guys are using now. But yet you can't use that same argument with PlayStation games going to PC. Oh, I'm predominantly a console gamer, therefore that don't matter. Well, that's funny considering that you guys said for the whole Xbox One generation that Microsoft has no exclusive games because they're all on PC. Just to find out that Sony's doing the same thing this generation, and you guys want to still claim that they're exclusive to your platform. How the times have changed.
Always enjoyed consoles. I think, and this conversation is for the console gamers.
Uh-oh.
If you're primarily a PC gamer, you're good, whatever. Handheld gamer, you're good, whatever.
Like, why are you guys scared to address the PC gaming community, man? I'm gonna sit there and tell you, it ain't peaches and roses there either, bro. They have their own problems, even though they want to sit there and cap and act like, oh, we the PC master race, man. We got game new. Bro, they have issues too. It is what it is, man. A platform is not what makes the gamer. It's the games that the gamer plays. This is something that a lot of you fanboys don't understand. You guys are attached to the platform, but you're not attached to the games that you're playing on it. That's why you're too busy on X, or should I call it Twitter, because that's all you people do is run your mouth and talk about games. When is the last time Puerto has even played an exclusive game on his PlayStation?
No, this is not really about you guys and stuff like that.
Of course.
This is really for the console gamers that chose a console.
What do you mean by chose a console, bro? I chose whatever I want. I went to the store, bought an Xbox Series X, a PS5, and a Nintendo Switch, and I don't need you to tell me what choice that I should make. The choice that I made was multi-console owner. That's the choice that I made. You want to sit there and act like, oh, I made a choice. You like what? Like, bro, as if you voted for somebody. Bro, it ain't that serious, man. Buy a platform and play games. The end.
For this gen, right? That's
what
PC gamers generally are fine and stuff like that. This is specifically for the console users.
Oh, okay.
Those of us that enjoy consoles. And I enjoy consoles for a long time.
I enjoy bro, you sound like you about to break down in tears. I enjoy consoles.
A lot of times, many gens, I was a multi-console owner.
Oh, really?
Because almost every console had something, right, that was attracted to me, right? I had the PS1, I had the Saturn, I had the Dreamcast, I had the Genesis, which was one of my favorite consoles. I had the Master System, I had the NES, the Super NES, I had a TurboGrafx 16.
Great
had
consoles.
A Jaguar, didn't have the 3DO, never had a CDI.
I had the 3DO.
Those, way too expensive at the time. Obviously, PlayStation 1, 2, 3, and 4, and 5, right? Now, the PS5 Pro. Had the OG Xbox, right? I had the OG Xbox,
oh, really?
And Xbox One. Skipped the 360, even though that's a phenomenal console, because I had it in my household, right, with my brother-in-law, and I just never really bought my own for whatever reason, right?
Because you're a fanboy.
But the 360, fantastic OG Xbox, one of my favorite consoles of all time.
Which is kind of sad considering that the Xbox One started a whole backwards compatibility program again, and you could have went back and played a lot of those 360 titles with enhancements. Matter of fact, you should get a Series X, according to what you said, Puerto Rock. You can play updated versions of 360 games at 4K 60 the way you would want. But no, let's still hate on poor little Xbox. You just said the 360 was one of Microsoft's best generations. That 360 generation has carried all the way to the One X to the Series S and X with enhancements. So it's even better. But yet you still hate on Xbox, even though we got dev mode and everything else that the PlayStation can't do. And it's not that Sony can't do it. It's the fact that they don't want to have you guys open your eyes to it. That's all it is.
Right? GameCube, N64, Super NES, NES. Didn't have the Wii, didn't have the Wii U, didn't have, I have Switch, but really my wife plays that. I don't really play it.
My wife played Animal Crossing. She ain't playing the manly games. The ones that put hair on your chest. I'm a simple man. I eat a hungry man dinner, and I like to sit there and play at my table. I gotta play in my living room set. I'm not no little kid. Sitting in the park playing on my Nintendo Switch.
Right. So any console, for me, the consoles I bought and I wanted, is because it's always something I attracted, right? And I have to say, this gen, and for those of you who might agree, if you chose the Switch or the PlayStation, I know you are relieved.
Because if you're looking at it from the perspective of just owning a Nintendo Switch, you are missing out on a lot of third-party offerings. If you're talking about a person that owns a PlayStation 5, you are missing out on a ton of great exclusives that are provided for the Nintendo Switch. If this is the argument that we're having, right? Because you said it's all about a choice, right? Which means that you would only have to choose one platform. But the funny thing is, Xbox Series X, you could do far more with that console than you could do with PlayStation. I can play the majority of your PlayStation games on Xbox at 4K 60. But yet you guys act like the PlayStation 5 is a complete console. It ain't even a complete console, even with their own library.
Maybe that's choice. I can't be the only one to be like, whew, dodge that bullet. Because buying an Xbox Series console this gen was... I know it was a mistake.
Here we go. It was a mistake, guys. I picked up a mistake, right? It was so much of a mistake so that you guys are waiting 6 months for Indiana Jones. Yeah, it was such a mistake, guys. And that's funny that you're saying that, considering that 2025 looks to be one of Microsoft's best years for the Series X, and your little intergalactic woke garbage game ain't coming out until 2027. So what are you ponies going to be playing until then? Oh, that's right. One exclusive, Marvel Wolverine, and maybe a Bloodborne remake. There it is, kids.
I know everybody's going to say, well, everybody's opinion is different, whatever. But watching the Xbox community right now just primarily talk about the future of Xbox.
Yeah.
In terms of beyond what they have.
Beyond. You heard what you just said, beyond.
Have now. And not talk about what they have now and the games you're about to get over the next 4 years is wild to me.
Bro, we don't even need to talk about games we getting in the next 4 years. We could talk about the games we getting next year in 2025. Like, huh? Like, where have you been? Like, you're saying that Xbox has no games, and they're about to bombard you guys with more games than PlayStation has ever seen in their whole lifetime with the PS5. And you sitting there saying that Xbox got no games. Yeah, you might get a few games on a case-by-case basis, but they all dropping first on the Xbox.
The conversations of OEM hardware, the Xbox handheld, they're out here.
What's wrong with that? What's wrong with having an Xbox handheld? It's not, it's a, you guys act, it's fine to have a PlayStation one, but it ain't fine to have an Xbox handheld?
Typing new next generation handheld in 2026? Like, this generation is so bad for them that they want this.
Let's be honest, this generation has been bad for everybody.
Generation just to end in 2026.
No, you guys want this generation to end so you guys can sit there and declare yourselves, we won the console war, when Nintendo has single-handedly whooped your behind in 2 different generations.
After that, you have Xbox dudes that just became refugees and just said, you know what, we're just going to PC.
Oh, really? And we had a bunch of PlayStation fanboys, like Couple of Fools, transitioning to the Xbox brand because he said that PlayStation 5 don't got any more games for him to play.
The middle of the gen. They paid their $500 for an Xbox, and they dropped another $1,500 whatever, and they just said, I'm done. PC.
Doesn't matter. Going to PC is still being involved in Microsoft's ecosystem. All you guys did was give Microsoft more money.
And I would just say, as a PlayStation gamer, oh man, and I would assume many Nintendo gamers, if that's your primary device, yo, we dodged the bullet. You know,
No,
it,
don't add Nintendo gamers to this because Nintendo gamers don't care about what you PlayStation fanboys are on, bruh. They don't care. Most of them probably have a PS5 and an Xbox Series X for third-party games. What are you talking about, bro? Don't add Nintendo gamers to your little nonsensical console war, bro. Nobody cares, bro. Like, you guys are still living in the Stone Age.
and it's just crazy because the Xbox community, these gamers, they were the biggest with the vitriol and the lies between Xbox Series X and PlayStation 5. Man, 2020 was wild. And I'm so glad that I knew it was all BS. All those Xbox content creators and influencers, just weird stuff, just lying, making up stuff, making promises that, it wasn't going to be kept. They'll talk about exclusives and power and performance.
I mean, that's kind of hard for an Xbox fanboy to talk about exclusives, considering that all their games were coming out to PC day and date.
Performance and mesh shaders and VRS 3.0 and just all this nonsense. It was all wrong, man. And now that console is the most unappealing product, period. I never seen a product.
I would say that award goes to the PlayStation 5 Pro.
Unappealing at a long time. That's just like the Ouya or something. Like, it's bad.
Wow, he's comparing it to the Ouya. I actually have one, which is actually quite funny. And the best game on that was Bomb Squad.
And I'm glad, you know what? I feel sorry for those of you that listened and actually believed them. Because you got suckered. And you got suckered.
Yeah, guys, we got suckered, man. We got suckered so bad that we got a lot of games coming to Game Pass Ultimate while they got to still pay for subscription service on top of paying $70 for games while we can get them entirely for free through our subscription service. I'm so sad. I picked the wrong console, guys, because I can't play my PS1. You know, the same games that you was mentioning at the beginning of this video, I could all do that through dev mode. I'm so stupid for picking up an Xbox, guys. How could I? I'm such a big dummy. I should have bought well, I do have 2 PlayStation 5s too. I'm such a dummy. I should have just took my money and bought me 2 additional PS5s and have 4 of the same consoles that don't do me anything besides waiting for Xbox games. That's what I should have done.
Now you're like in this halfway into the gen, and you have like you either accept.
It's halfway into the gen, and PlayStation ain't had nothing but remasters and remakes.
Xbox for what it is, or you're gonna have to pay the extra money to get out of it. You trade it in, get a PC.
Bro, I really don't think that it's that serious, bro.
Or you get a PlayStation.
You got people that spend more money on their cars, bro. It's really not that serious, bro.
It just sucks that you have to do this transition. But I'm gonna tell you, man.
What transition do you have to do? Like, what are you talking about, bro? There's no choices that need to be made here. I got 2 Series X's and 2 PS5s. What choice do I have to make? I'm not understanding. I'm not computing this choice. Like, I'm not getting it. Like, what choice, bro? Like, this is not life and death, bro. This is video game consoles.
PlayStation's phenomenal, and I know this.
Wait, no, it's not phenomenal. You are lying to yourself, bro. You guys know PlayStation ain't phenomenal. That's why you keep port begging for Xbox games. Am I wrong? This is why y'all still playing remasters and remakes. This is why y'all still waiting on games. Nobody wants to hear this cap no more, man. Even your own audience, couple of fools, don't believe you.
Creators and grifters, they're going to talk about, oh, blah, 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 the pay that line and all this other shit in Concord. Yeah, there's games that flopped. I said Concord was going to flop and stuff like that. PlayStation by far.
And let's not forget Until Dawn Remake that sold 48% worse.
It's not perfect. Nintendo by far is not perfect.
I think we all know this.
There's small issues on both sides, on many platforms.
No, there's a lot of issues on all platforms.
And issues, I'm not feeling that live service strategy. Now, granted, to be fair, I'm not into multiplayer like I used to, so there
also goes to show you that PlayStation won't be the same company that you remember. So I guess PlayStation is dead to you. Because the last time I checked, Microsoft is actually investing more into single-player games than Sony now at this point.
A little bit of bias on that, but Concord was a huge flop. And, what happens if fair games flop? So they're teetering on the line, right? So we'll see what happens with there. Nintendo, their hardware wasn't all that powerful and stuff like that. They missed out on a lot of great third party. Will they be able to come back to that? Will the Switch be powerful enough to get back some of that mind share from the third party?
I don't think they need it because, unfortunately, Nintendo gamers buy their own exclusives. I don't think they care. As long as they're getting their next Legend of Zelda and Pokemon game, I think they're all set. Because that's the difference between a PlayStation fanboy and a person that games on Nintendo, is that they actually put their money where their mouth is.
Party, so you don't miss out on some of these big games. There's conversations about that too, right? So there's a little bit of everything on all that stuff. But Xbox, that thing was just trash, and I'm glad I'm not part of that nonsense. I'm glad.
What's trash about it? What's trash about me being able to have access to PS1, 2, and all those games that you mentioned all through the Xbox dev mode? What's trash about that? You said I could play Sega Saturn games on myself. What did you talk about? So all the NES, Super Nintendo, I could play all those games through dev mode on my Series X, and you're sitting there telling me that the Xbox Series X is trash. If you had all these consoles like you claimed back in the days, right there alone is worth picking up a Series X. Forget all their new games. Forget their service. Forget all the other stuff that Microsoft be talking about. Dev mode alone. You got a backwards compatible machine that enhances your games. You got dev mode that goes from countless amounts of consoles, all played in one device, very similar to a PC. So if you don't like the PC, you could do it all through your Xbox, which is a console. For $500? With that type of power? That's pretty impressive. Now, Sony can do the same thing, but Sony's not going to allow their audience to play PS1, 2, and 3 games through a CD or natively, because that's where they hustle you guys in reselling the same old games.
I bought an Xbox One ultimately because there was towards the latter half, I think it was around 2016, 2017.
And you did not play it.
Despite, Scalebound counseling, which pissed me off. And if you were new to the channel...
bro, Scalebound, there's a lot of games that got canceled. And... That doesn't like, I mean, bro, are we really talking about things from 2016?
Not that long. That was one of my first viral videos, at least for its time, where I was just really upset and pissed off.
No, you wasn't. You just ran with the narrative like everybody else does.
Scalebound got canceled, right? Because I was hoping to buy like a bundle or something. But anyway, I ended up getting the Xbox because of Cuphead. It was a phenomenal exclusive at the time. I mean, now it's on PlayStation, but it wasn't at that time, right?
Well, just like a lot of games that are on Xbox currently, but yet you still don't want an Xbox. The irony. But you picked up a whole Xbox One for a $20 indie game, but you don't want to pick up an Xbox to play all these other AAAs that they got coming out, like Gears E-Day, Perfect Dark, Indiana Jones, they have Stalker 2. There's a lot of Avowed, Elder Scrolls 6, more than likely. I don't know when that'll come out, but still. These games are all planned and developed for the Xbox Series X in mind, and you're not picking up that console. Okay.
Like I said, man, I had to play that game, and it was an indie game, and I don't usually
rock
with a lot of indie games.
You spend $500 on an indie game, but you don't want to spend $500 to get access to a plethora of games through Xbox Game Pass Ultimate. Please make sense out of this. You're just a hater.
Cuphead was just amazing, and I played it. Crazy part is, when I beat it, buying the PS4 Pro, I'm like, I'm not listening to y'all, right? And the next 4 years is going to be phenomenal for PlayStation, right? Intergalactic,
Heritage, 2027.
Dr. Naughty Dog, finally. Games, just waiting for that game, right?
You're waiting 3 years for that game.
Oh, hype. Ghost of Yotai, and then we know about Wolverine.
That's 3 games.
On top of that. And then there's more developers.
Oh, no. You see how you almost laughed there? There's more. No. That's the 3 games that you have there, buddy. Intergalactic, Marvel's Wolverine, and maybe I think Bloodborne Remaster Remake is more likely coming out. That's it. 3 to 4 games. Xbox, let's name them, shall we? I mean, we could kind of start off with this year because, I mean, they had a lot. You had Stalker 2, Game Pass Ultimate. You've had, what is it? What's the other one? Indiana Jones, right? Indiana Jones. I'm trying to think of, like, good titles to say. You also, I think Arc 2. Yep, I'm hearing that Arc 2. Bruh, Xbox destroyed you. There's nothing y'all can say. Y'all like, wow, games. So you remember Arc 2, I think that's dropping first on Xbox, not on PlayStation. I think it'll drop on PlayStation at a later date, PC and Xbox. That's some good games, man. Arc 2, Gears E-Day, South of Midnight, Indiana Jones, Avowed, I call it Avoid. I don't know why. Avowed, State of Decay 3. It's over. What are you talking about, bro? We ain't even done yet. Perfect Dark? And you ponies want to sit there and still talk about how you got games? Bro, a lot of in Doom Dark Ages? What's coming to PlayStation 2 as well? It don't matter. You get it through the subscription service. We don't have to pay for it. Doom Dark Ages? It's done. Yeah, bro, you just go home. Go home. It's like Katie Smith from ESPN. Let's go home, ladies and gentlemen. Let's go home. Go home already, Pony. It's over. You're finished.
Pipeline, right? Sony Bank got their project. Bluepoint got their project. You know, it's just gonna be a lot of good stuff. Just a lot of good content, and then also third party.
Oh, here we go. Third party is going to also be applied to Xbox, so that's not really a good argument.
So important the pro. Microsoft, if they do create something good, you know, out of their first party studios, guess what? That's on PlayStation, enhanced by the PlayStation.
That's not true. You're lying to yourself. Not every single game from Xbox is going to PlayStation. Now, we can argue when will these games come out. That's fine. But you can't sit there and say that all these games are coming to PlayStation. You see, you guys are believing your own lies. I have to wait until I see it. I don't care about a few old Sea of Thieves, Ground. Okay, fine. Doom Dark Ages, okay. Day and date. Game Pass Ultimate gets into their service. Fine. We're still getting the benefit of it, though. You guys say that Microsoft ain't benefited from buying Bethesda and Activision, but yet we don't have to buy these games and you ponies do. That's the benefit right there. And Microsoft's still making money off you fools. We're getting great, incredible games on top of maybe a few case-by-case exclusives to the console. At the end of the day, we still benefited. Because if let's be honest, if Activision and Bethesda was their own company, they would have still made these games for PlayStation. Starfield would have been on PS5 right away. Gears E-Day would have been day and date on... No, not Gears E. I'm sorry. Like some of the Bethesda games, Doom Dark Ages would have dropped on both platforms and not be on Game Pass Ultimate. So very much Xbox gamers have benefited.
Pro, I mean, PlayStation's eating good.
You eating spoiled scraps is what you eating. You're not eating good, my man. They don't call you Puerto Roach for a reason. You eating scraps. You eating cockroach feces, my man. That's what you eating, bro. You're not eating no good meat, bro. You eating spoiled old 20-year-old Halo Master Chief meat. You know what I'm saying? Y'all eating spoiled. Y'all like zombies. You know? You guys are so dehydrated on the PS5 platform that you're just looking for Gamerade, which is Microsoft's Gamerade, to drop on your platform so you can get your thirst quenched.
4 years is going to be crazy. You know, the last 4 years was good.
No, it wasn't. PlayStation 5's first 4 years was garbage.
It's just gonna be
even most PlayStation fans can sit there and say it was trash.
Driving, that's how it should be. It's going to be amazing.
You're capping, bro.
It's just,
you're capping.
I know, am I the only one that's just like, dodge that bullet? You know, for those of us that ensured that we didn't listen to those liars and frauds.
Now, who you referring to? Because at the end of the day, the best place to play most of these games will be on Xbox, day and date through Game Pass Ultimate.
We saw the truth, and guess what? We went with PlayStation as console owners. We saw, you know what, PlayStation's going to be the best console this gen.
And it hasn't.
And boom, ended up being that.
No, it hasn't. It's so well perceived that only 1.5 million picked up Astro Bot.
Box, we don't know what the hell's going on.
Oh no, you know what's going on, bruh. See, this is the cap, bro. Y'all capping so hard. Even Dreamcast guy said my Xbox won't have a good 2025. Y'all hating, bruh. Y'all dropping all your hate videos until 2025 come out, and Xbox dudes gonna be eating good on Gears E-Day, Perfect Dark, and all that. They're gonna be eating good while you eating old Xbox One and 360 scraps.
I'm sorry for those of you, like, not the fanboys, but the Xbox fans, or those that became an Xbox fan.
So you're essentially saying a couple fools is a dummy for picking up an Xbox, even though he completely told everybody he's tired of the games on PlayStation.
Because you listen to these people, and now you're like, crap.
You see?
Now, some of you are happy with your Xbox because of one thing, Game Pass. Game Pass, I think that's literally the only saving grace for...
Well, Game Pass has everything to do with games. On top of some of these games are on probably only going to be on console, right? Like Gears E-Day. We don't know. Like I said, I'm just saying for right now. So at the end of the day, you still need an Xbox to play it. I don't think they're going to drop it day and date with PlayStation.
Anything.
At least right away.
Console. And if you're happy with Game Pass, then that at least you got that, right? But there's a lot of Xbox gamers, you know, or I'm going to say some. I think that's a better way to describe. there are some Xbox gamers that are not happy at all. Because
No, you guys just want to take the happiness away from the Xbox community. And that's why a couple of fools have said, you know what, man? Hey, guys, I made the biggest mistake. I should have just went out and picked up both platforms. Now he playing Halo Combat Evolved with his wife, and he's having a happier time. You just proved I'm telling you guys, PlayStation, I hate to say it in this video, PlayStation fanboys are some of the most toxic and worst gamers we've ever had in this community, man. And you already see what happens when a pony finally stops getting on that pony dust like a couple of fools, right? And now look what happened. He's actually having more fun and he's having the time of his life. It doesn't pay to be a fanboy, okay? I wish more people would cover these channels like I do, because I feel like more people should talk about this. You people are harming the gaming community. All because you're 50 years old, bro. You're 50 years old, man. Okay? Bro, have you seen yourself in the mirror? You got wrinkles, you got bags of the bags. Bro, you're old, man. You ain't got no more time to waste. Time is money and money is time. They equally the same, and you ain't trying to waste neither. Why would you want to waste? You've already wasted 20 years of your life not playing Halo, and now you're going to waste a few more years of your life not doing it because you're hoping on the idea that it'll come to my PlayStation 5.
They were told that they wouldn't have the best performance, which they didn't.
That's not true, because Space Marine and a lot of those Unreal Engine 5 games ran better on Xbox.
They were told they'll have a huge mindshare market share, which will now make them the priority in the gaming industry. That didn't happen. With all these Microsoft acquisitions, they're going to get these games exclusive at a minimum devices that are where Game Pass is found. That didn't happen, right?
Yeah, and the exclusives that I thought was going to be locked to PlayStation, but instead they decided to port them to PC. Well, like Maury said, that didn't happen. I mean, what are we doing here, bro? Like, I mean, what are we doing? You can tell this man's looking at the sky like, I don't even know what I'm talking about.
They were told about, potential mid-gen refresh to compete with the Pro.
And that did not happen.
That didn't happen.
Lee Maury.
Now, the main talk of what they got is either an OEM third-party.
I don't care, bro. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this video, man. Like I said, go out there and play whatever console you want. Stop the fanboy nonsense, man. That's when I game. That's not what gaming is all about. Like I've said, I don't enjoy the PlayStation because I feel like Sony ain't really doing enough for their fans. And a lot of PlayStation fans that decide to break that curse, I notice a lot of them are breaking it with the PS5, because that shows you how boring that platform really is. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this video, man. And like I said, man, if you ever see a cockroach, just make sure you remember it's this dude right here. Peace out.